Now you remember the reason that Lord Snake's political activities surfaced was because of me. I'm very proud to say that. I'm very proud to say that. Okay, I'm sounding like Peanut.
You started.
But you know, I've been reading and hearing stuff for months now, and a lot of it ain't up yet, ain't up no more. A lot of it is stuff that I read on the peanut butter sandwich page before Henderson yanked it down, and stuff on Sanjay's page before they got yanked down. But been seeing lots of different things talking about a connection between Lord Snake and this medical school, UAMS, in Arkansas.
Right.
Well, I done me some more reading on Lord Snake, and you know, at first I was wrong with one thing that I said, because when I found out that he was a politician, I was thinking he was still current, but actually he was in office for 2003, 2005, and 2007. And they don't convene every year, you know, so it's 1 year and then off a year, I guess. But he was now the House rep from Jacksonville, Arkansas, a Department of Defense town, by the way.
Yeah. Air Force Base.
But this may not be any kind of a definite concrete link, but it sure looked like one to me, so I'm going to tell you about it. I went to www.artleg.state.ar.us, and I got the legislator profile page for old Lord Snake. He's listed in the S's under Snake.
Oh, he is? Well, okay, that's good.
Well, in there, it gives a bill history of each lawyer, legislator. Well, same difference. And, but guess what old Arnie found? Not one, but two House bills co-authored by Lord Snake himself. One is an act for taxpayer money to be used as matching funds for any grants that UAMS Cancer Research Center receives in a certain time window, being January 07 through July 09. And the other is an act to make appropriation to UAMS for purchase of robotic equipment for prostate and other surgery and for other purposes. That's what it says. Kind of vague.
Yeah.
But I got printouts of both of these bills here, and I'll read some of them to you if you want.
Okay.
But one thing though, right off the bat, that I noticed reading these bills, both of these bills has in them what they call an emergency clause. And it's verbatim the same paragraph that you'll find in both bills, talking about by July 07, a state of emergency will be in effect, and they must have this appropriation. So here you got Lord Snake writing new laws to help the good people over at UAMS in their fight to destroy cancer. Kind of interesting. It seems like a definite ding dong. It seems like a definite link to me. Because you can safely say he's okay. You know, he's suing you for bogus complaints, and you also know now that he's a former politician who wrote appropriations bills to subsidize the ones who've been ripping you off for 26 years. Now,
trying to, yeah.
With tax money from the state. So I guess old Lord Snake I guess he's their man on the inside, huh?
Well, you know, and what is the dates of those bills?
Well,
when they were introduced?
The act to create the UAMS Cancer Research Center Matching Fund, that bill is engrossed 3707.
Okay. What about the one?
The other one, February of 2007 for the appropriation for purchase of robotic equipment.
Okay, that's really interesting because in 2007, we were not advertising. I don't even know if Liberty News Radio was on at the time, but we were, I guess not, I don't know. But we were advertising at Genesis Communication Network. And I did not have a show. I just was advertising, but the station was arranging for me to be guest at different shows. And one of the programs they have is Dr. Bill Deagle, who is Canadian, and he gives discussion of alternative treatment, interviews different people. And I had, very beginning of January 2007, I was interviewed by Dr. Deagle, and he wanted to know why we were just doing skin and breast cancer. And I explained to him why, and I told him we were considering expanding, trying to find the right team and the right equipment that we could modify so we could do it for internal organs. And I have been looking at doing, of course, a robotic system because that's resolved the problem of the complaint I have from the medical that what we do is too labor intensive, so doctors do not want to use it, aside from the fact that it doesn't produce enough money, but one of the reasons is too labor intensive. So I was looking about developing a robotic system, and then I ran across the advertising for something robotic that was ready on the market and goes extremely expensive. It goes by the name of the Da Vinci system. So when I was interviewed by Dr. Bill Deagle, said that would be something to use and to get into the internal organ and progress in the cancer research. That was early January 2007. So look at the date.
January 2007. You mean
right.
1 month?
Yeah, before he introduced the bill for getting a robotic system for UAMS to use for cancer, prostate cancer, and other purposes. That's the Da Vinci system. And anyway.
Wow.
So, yeah. But that's pretty suspicious right there. And then on top of that, the emergency of that sounds like we got to get to do this before Les Medin does it. And then the emergency matching funds. So that's what it seems to be.
Okay.
We got another break.
I'll go ahead and read that emergency clause to you when we get back.
Well, wait. Yeah, when we get back. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay, we are back again after the break and commercial information for you. And so Arnie's still with us. Let's hear. He was going to read the part of the bill introduced.
Okay.
Nick.
Well, I said one thing that was a little bit false. The emergency clause is included in both of these bills, but it's slightly different in one than it is in the other.
Okay.
Only slightly, because I was looking toward the bottom half, and there's a lot of verbatim the same in both. But the purchase of robotic equipment bill, its emergency clause, it says, it is found and determined by the General Assembly that the Constitution of the State of Arkansas prohibits the appropriation of funds for more than a 2-year period, that the effectiveness of this act on July 1, 2007, this is Act 1647 of the regular session, Arkansas General Assembly, Senate Bill 606, that is essential to the operation of this agency for which the appropriations in the Act are provided, and that in the event of an extension of the regular session, the delay in the effective date of this Act beyond July 1 of 07 could work irreparable harm upon the proper administration and provision of essential government programs. Therefore, an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this act being necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, and safety shall be in full force and effect from and after July 1, 2007.
I just don't know. This is the typical double talk of politics. I don't understand how the public is going to be harmed if they purchase the robotic system later.
And really, I just noticed it's got the amount on here, 1,300,000. When you think about it, that's not really, that's not a whole lot of money. But
well, but for Arkansas it is.
But they sure needed it fast, didn't they?
Yeah, and I don't see how that could help. Actually, I guess they got a discount because the Da Vinci system running price is 1.6, but maybe they give him a discount. I don't know. But the funny part about this is...
Maybe with that other bill they can get two of them for the price of one. I don't know.
I don't know. But, the funny part about all of this is I said back then in January 2007 that the Da Vinci system could be used to deliver our treatment for internal organs. I said that based on the information and advertising provided by the manufacturer of the Da Vinci system. However, in August 2007, I went to Dallas at an expo, and we had a display there too. But one of the displays was in conjunction with the local hospital was the company that makes the Da Vinci system. So I had the opportunity to see it up close and see what is really its characteristic, how it's put together, and what it actually does. And the information they give in the advertising is incorrect. And the Da Vinci system has really very limited use, and it really cannot be used to deliver our treatment. It cannot. It's not adequate at all for it. So I still went back into the thing that I have to develop our own robotic system, and this is why they're giving me so much trouble, so I cannot concentrate on that. I don't have the time or the funds to concentrate on that. That's part of the reason why they're attacking us so much. But the thing is...
that one of them bloggers, too, I guess it was Peanut, that brought that up at some point in one of them blogs, saying that, I hear she's working on a robotic arm system. Oh, my God, she needs to be stopped,
And back then I said, that doesn't make any sense. What the heck is that? Yeah, she said, I've heard that she's working with OSU, Oklahoma State University, in Tulsa. No, Oklahoma State University does not have an engineering department in Tulsa. So anyway, all the kind of sketchy, wrong information they had, and say, oh my God, she needs to be stopped. And that did not make any sense. Now I can see why. Okay, well, sure. But at the time...
Right, that's what I mean. Back a couple of months ago when I was seeing it on the blogs, it didn't make much sense to me either because, I hear you talk about a lot of stuff, but, you hadn't really talked about or even written a lot about robotic arms or robotic equipment. And because of a rumor, she picks it up and amplifies it into this big, kind of urgency. It is kind of funny, and now that kind of fills in the puzzle a little bit.
Yeah, that's why they would say, oh, no, stop her, because if she develops and they don't have it. Well, because the Da Vinci system doesn't work. By now they have figured that one out. But it's now built in a way that you can adapt it. And by the way, the Da Vinci system really does not have that much of a... There are only two... the CyberKnife is also pretty much close to a robotic system, but... there are different robotic systems out there, but they're all specialized. They're all used for a particular situation, which ours will be too, with more application than that, but it's still restricted to certain uses. But the thing is that by now they have realized that it cannot help them in their effort to copy what we're doing, because they're a hospital.
Poor old UAMS. Yeah. Golly, think of all the money they put into stuff that, that still just ain't quite on the target, all that money they spent on them carbon nanotubes and turned out to be toxic or whatever. Now this.
Well, but that was Stanford who developed the carbon nanotube. They are using them now, and they're trying to say, we're doing the toxicology studies. Well, I already know how come the toxicology studies are. That's why they are causing so much trouble for us, because we are many, many years ahead of them. And they're not going to be able to catch up with that. And the only way they can do it, they think they can anyway, is to destroy Lase Inc.
But you remember UAMS got that grant for that nanotube fiasco. And
Yeah.
You know? And
they got all that
grants
money.
All under this clause, did they get double that now because of this law?